Hello, my name is Joan Doyle. I'm an artist and a library assistant, and I'm coming to you today from the Canton Library, which is a branch of the Haywood County Library. And I'm bringing to you a drawing lesson in one-point perspective. Now, one-point perspective sounds different. It's maybe you've never heard of it before, but I guarantee you have seen a view from one-point perspective. If you've ever stood on a railway track and you saw this, as you can see, one point is where most of the lines in this picture are coming from. If you look, the railway lines, the horizon line is converging at this point, the tree line converging at this point, the mountains and the clouds, they all seem to be converging at this one point. This is one point perspective. Now, art, it has been very commonly used in art down through the ages for various subjects, and one of them is Van Gogh's bedroom. You can see this is the point of perspective of just about everything in the room. All the lines converge at this point that give you the shape and the proper perspective of the objects that you're seeing in this picture. Another great use of one-point perspective is The Last Supper by Leonardo da Vinci. So you see, this idea has been around a long time. And so you can see here all of these lines, the lines of the window, the roof, the sides of the table, the lines on the floor, all the lines are pointing to the central focal point, which is intended to bring our eye to the main focus of this painting, which is Jesus at the Last Supper with his disciples. So you'll find ways in which this will work great for you. If you like to illustrate stories or anything, it's one way to bring the onlookers' eyes to what it is you want them to be looking at. So what you'll need today for our little exercise is a pencil, an eraser, a ruler, and if you want to black in the lines after you have drawn it, you can use a black pen. You can also just make very light lines with your pencil for the construction lines, and then just go a little heavier for the lines you want to keep. But remember, you're going to have to erase some of those construction lines because you really don't want them visible in the end result. So today I'm going to begin this drawing and show you how we use one-point perspective to draw this road and the house and the trees. And in this particular example, I put a balloon down at the very center point, as if I'm asking you to look there, that as if this is the most important aspect of the story of this drawing. Paintings and stories, paintings and drawings can tell stories. So this might be the story of the day I saw a balloon at the end of my road. So it's up to you how you use it, but this is what we'll do today. So if you want to follow along with me, like I said, have your pencil ready and your paper and your ruler and your heavy black pen if you want to. And I'm going to work today in a black pen because that's what comes up and shows very visibly on the camera. I won't be able to erase it, but you understand that the lines you're drawing are construction lines and that you will be able to erase them later. So we start. One-point perspective, we got 1 point. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit to my left. So I'm going to draw the house to my right. And so I take my ruler, and from that point, I begin to draw lines that come out from it. So this is my road. And I'm going to put a line down the middle of the road because that's where the markers are that I have in my drawing. So I'll need 2 of them because it gives width to the little markers. So that's my road. How simple is that? And it's very easy to see that it's disappearing into the distance. So we're going to put a house on this side. So I'm going to draw the base of the house. It's going to go along this one-point perspective line. I don't have to draw it all the way to the end because this is as long as the house is going to be. But all of the other lines, when you are drawing one-point perspective, and I can show you the illustration of the railway track, the other lines that you see here are either parallel, see these little railway ties, they're lined up with the bottom of my paper, or the bottom of the picture. So they go parallel to the bottom of the picture. The other lines that you see here are the trees, and they're downward lines, and they are parallel with the side of my paper. So you've got lines going up and down, you've got lines going over and back, and then the other lines you have are going to that one point. So there's 3 directional lines. So the lines for the house, they will go up parallel with the side of my paper. Okay, so that's as tall as we might want the house. Then we have to draw this line, which will show us the height of the house. And then we can draw this nearer. I won't bring it that far out actually, because I want to draw this side of the house. We'll go to there. Remember, these are construction lines and they can be erased by you if you're using pencil. So the other lines, like I said, either upright or side to side will be parallel with the bottom of the paper. So this is the end of my house. So this end of the house doesn't involve the one-point perspective at all. But now you see, you have that. Now in order to get, because we're going to put a roof on this house, we want to know where is the roof ending on that back corner that we can't see. So we can draw that in. Remember, these are construction lines to use very lightweight with your pencil so you can erase them later. How do we find out where the other end is? We draw a line from this corner to our one-point perspective, and that will show us where the far end of the house is. So it comes to there. So you're seeing these lines will all be erased later. But you see how it makes a box, and you can see the interior of the box. Beautiful, nice little rectangular box, which is the house. So now when I put the roof on, and when I put the roof on, I want the gable end to be right in the middle. So we can kind of guess it. Maybe we'll go up from the middle of that, like right there, and say, okay, so that's the gable of my house. And from that point, we go to the one-point perspective to give us how the roof slopes down. And then this end of the roof will be parallel with this because it's a part of it. And so we can do that by putting the ruler there and using the other side of the ruler to get that exact angle. Now I'm just going to put that in black so it can stand out and you can see where the roof is. Standing out very nicely. Now, if I'd done these in pencil, I could erase these now, or I could leave them until I decide to ink it in. It's up to you. Okay, so when we're doing the windows on this side of the house, we will use the one-point perspective. So we can maybe make 3 windows. On the bottom, so we'll do the downward lines for those windows. And maybe we'll make the door align with that window. So lines come down, and we have an upstairs window and a downstairs window. So we can do something like that. The general gist. And then we use the one-point perspective for the bottoms and the tops of those windows. And the top of the door. Complete that. Now you've got windows, upstairs windows and downstairs windows, and all in beautiful perspective with the road. And what else have we got? I didn't draw in a horizon line, but we could put in a horizon line so we know where the land ends. It goes behind the house. And then if you wanted to put a line of trees, you would use that same point, coming from there, coming out. So these would be the base of your trees, or the base of a path. As I said, a lot of the other lines are parallel with the top or the side. So the path coming away from the door would be parallel with the bottom of the paper. Okay, now the tree line, we have, say, 3 trees here. And the top of those trees would be, we would have to use a line from that perspective so we can see that the one that's closest to us, say the base of it is right here on this line, and where the tree is going to be that tall. Okay. The next tree, which might be here, okay, the next tree is going to be only this tall because it has to hit that line. And then the next tree is going to hit that line right here. So you see how that makes the trees look like they're going away into the distance. And maybe we'll put a tree across here that's about the same distance from us as this tree. And we could use perspective line as we did with the house and the other trees, just to see where it will reach. And that's it. So there you've got your trees, you've got your road, you've got your house. If you want to put in some clouds, you can just imagine that there's a line coming from here, and that's kind of the shape of the cloud that you might have. And another one here. You can put the sun, and if you want to put that balloon in this little basket. So that is pointing you to that basket. This is 1-point perspective, and you can see how effective it is. It really gives you the feeling of everything's going off into the distance because of this 1 point. So I hope you will play with that. When you have your construction lines done, remember to keep them very light, and then ink in when you're ready. And when you've inked in, it should look something like this. You can see the lines are still there that I use for construction. You would erase those, and once you've got those erased, you can do some shading. That will also give you an idea of it'll give you more dimension to your drawing. So yeah, put the dark end of the house here, that makes, and because the sun's over here and it may be hitting the front of the house, but it's not hitting the side of the house, so that gives you dimension. And then when you're ready, you can get out your pencils and put some color in there. And there you have your 1-point perspective drawing. I hope you enjoy this, and just have fun. Okay, thank you.